Hey John, it's Irwin Yablans. I hope you don't mind the late phone call here. I just have an opportunity I'd love to discuss with you. As soon as the idea came in my head, I thought of you immediately. So if you can meet me tomorrow at my office, that'd be perfect. The address is 2120 Pegasus Boulevard at 11:45 a.m. If you can. I'll have lunch for you. Hope to see you then, John.
Hey, John, come on in.
Irwin, what's going on, my man?
Hey. You see ya. You hungry?
Yeah, I
Picked up
definitely
an,
could eat.
Italian for you from Frankie's, the best in town.
Awesome, man. Looks great. So, you left me a voicemail, and I just coming in to see, I guess, exactly what you had in mind.
What if I told you you're gonna set the new standard for horror film genre?
I don't know, Irwin. My last movie did not do too hot at the box office, man.
I'm not talking about your past. You're a true talent, John. You're the future. I mean, on my plane ride home from Italy, I just got back and I was thinking of ideas that wouldn't cost too much money because, frankly, I don't have much of it at the moment.
You and I both, brother.
What's the one thing that every kid needs when their parents are going out of town, for the night? They're home alone. What do they need? When they're home alone, what do they need?
I don't know. I guess I'd say a babysitter.
That's right, babysitter. And what's the responsibility for that babysitter? Until they get to that house, until the parents get home.
I guess most importantly, keep the kids safe. Make sure that the house doesn't burn down.
What if I told you and proposed to you that on Halloween night, that babysitter was stalked and killed inside their home? John, where are you from?
Upstate New York, little town, kind of town. Everybody knows everybody, kind of town.
So if a mysterious murder were to happen, it'd be kind of a big deal, right? Like, it would draw some attention?
Yeah, I'd say pretty quickly they would have some leads on the case for sure, yeah.
John, I want you to direct the Babysitter Murders.
I don't know.
I mean, you'll have full control. I'll let you, bounce ideas off one another, and we'll try to get some new faces in, some marquee names even.
Simply, I guess, as long as I could have Debra Hill come beside me and write and do the movie with me.
Full control, John.
All right, Irwin. Man, good to see you.
All right.
Hey, got my book here. Good to see you, man. We'll be in touch.
Hey, I want you to think of the scariest time in your youth. Really dig deep into the unknown.
You got it.
The Babysitter Murders? Yeah, let's just give the whole story away. Seriously, John. If we want to bring the audience into this story and really captivate them, we have to keep the title simple.
Like what? The idea, I'm just thinking of ideas like, what about something involving candy or trick-or-treating, spooky, Halloween night, something like that?
That's it.
What's it? Huh? What's it? I like it. I like it.
Halloween. So the story takes place all in one day, and we'll give some scenes beforehand for some clarity.
I mean, I like that, but that isn't really what Irwin had in mind. He had more in mind of something completely different for the script.
Well, what'd he say?
More of like a radio show type thing where there's booze every 10 minutes and, you know, I just don't think that that's the best idea for, that's not scary to me. Scary is the idea of, you know, you can't see the killer and then he comes. But I mean, I guess if you can see him, it's scary. I mean, it's scary too, I guess.
How about our audience? We put them behind the mask. It's been done before, but not in this way. Not on Halloween.
That's it. That's the true brilliance of this film. It's evil in a different perspective. That it can't be destroyed or controlled, but it can be contained.
How long until this needs to be written?
I believe Irwin said 25 days.
Move over. My hands are faster. Hey, listen to this.
What?
Don't light that in here. It breaks my concentration.
Whatever. All right.
Okay. You can't kill evil. It's the old idea of Sandman that Halloween was the night where all the souls
That's
are
it.
allowed
I know
to wreak havoc
it's
on
off
the
topic, but have you ever been a babysitter?
Of course. And it was always scariest when the kids would fall asleep.
That's it. That's where we can tie in the Babysitter Murders to Halloween night.
You're right. I'll never forget this one night. Hello? Hello?
Debbie, let me see that. I got it. Haddonfield, Illinois, the Midwest, the perfect quaint town for these murders. A town with a dark secret of someone who once lived there, and now that evil has come back.
I'm listening.
Close your eyes, Let me read this to you. A town with a dark secret. Someone who once lived there. And now that evil has come back. It's not the candies or the costumes that represent Halloween in Hannaffield. It's the anniversary of the murder every year since that horrible night. That's what makes Halloween work.
Debra! Debra! Come on, quit messing around.
Most small towns have a kind of a haunted house story, of one kind or another. At least, that's what the teenagers believe. There's always a house down the lane that somebody was killed in, or that somebody went crazy in. No one dares to enter a corn maze alone, or go to sleep without checking the closet, or under their bed. What makes a house haunted isn't just the heinous act a killer commits, but the secrets that are forever embedded into the walls that have seen it all.
What's on your mind?
The story. That's all that's ever on my mind. I just want to be able to get like one good night of sleep. It's driving me crazy.
Don't worry, we're gonna get it done.
But I've been thinking. Do you think it's possible for somebody like a baby or a child to be born evil?
I mean, I guess it's hard to know, but we're a product of our environment, and they do experiments on it. But that's still a mystery to be solved.
What makes me ask the question is I was thinking back to when I was in college, and we went on a field trip to with my psych class to the psych ward. But this was like for the most mentally unstable people, like in the United States, and I just can't forget it. But there was this 12-year-old kid, and when I looked at him, he had this most blank, possessed, like empty stare, and I just can't get it out of my mind. I honestly would say, I mean, there isn't a week go by that I don't think of that boy. There isn't one. But when I think about him, and I think about the story we're writing, that's our killer. That's our murderer.
Debra
I'm headed to Irwin's office,
was gonna hand him the latest on the script
hoping to gain some insight.
on where to go next with it. I'll see you tonight.
I'll see you tonight. Excuse me, sir. Have you seen Irwin? He's not in his office. I can't find him anywhere. All right, guy. Debbie, I got it.
What's gotten into you? You haven't finished the script without me, have you?
No, that's not it. I literally have it. Why is it so hard to track a killer?
I don't know. I guess if they don't leave behind enough evidence, the police won't have a way to track them.
No. It's simpler than that. A killer, it's always the same pattern. Statistically, every time they do the same things the same ways. They come from the same towns. They kill the same people. They do it where they're comfortable. Every single thing. There's always a pattern. That's how it works.
Okay.
Halloween. That's what makes our killer so unique. Is that he is amongst us, and he fits in with everybody. He's dressed up on Halloween just like everybody else. He's the guy that when you're trick-or-treating, you brush shoulders up against, but he's on his way to the kill. That's him.
Okay, well, describe him. Like, what does he look like? Give me more detail.
Okay, so it was the same thing like with that guy's stare that didn't say anything back. He was wearing, I think it would be amazing for him to be wearing like a janitorial jumpsuit or something.
Okay.
He has the most emotionless death stare. Like when you look at him, you don't see anything, and when he looks at you, he sees right through you. He's disguised behind the mask that only reveals his dark eyes that seem to tell the story, yet they're heavy with secrets they carry. He's a complete mystery to those he crosses. He's a dark figure that's shaped flawlessly. He moves in the shadows of the night. He's the face of fear staring at you from behind the closet door, waiting for you to look under your bed. That's him. That's our killer.
We need to turn this face into our killer.
Let's do it.
What do you think?
This is it. This is Michael.
It's perfect.
How close are we?
Jamie Lee Curtis playing Laurie Strode. There's a few others we'd like to read for you in a room, but we feel strongly and think she's the one. You can look at these ones as well.
Yes, I've heard her name, but she doesn't really look like the selections you have on this page.
Her manager won't stop calling me. She's the daughter of Janet Leigh.
I mean, I don't care if she's the daughter of the Pope. She's got to fit. It's not a no yet, Deborah, but it's not a yes quite yet. Let's talk about it later.
I understand. I'll talk with her manager and have her set up a meeting.
And John, this doctor, Dr. Loomis, tell me about him.
All right, so Dr. Loomis is the one that knows our killer the most. He was obviously his doctor within the psych ward that our killer was in. You know what? Actually, let me read right from the script what we have about him. This is Dr. Loomis's take on Michael. I met him 15 years ago. I was told there was nothing left, no reason, no conscience, no understanding. Even the most rudimentary sense of life or death, good or evil, right or wrong. I met this 6-year-old with blank, pale, emotionless face and the blackest eyes, like the devil's eyes. I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then the other 7 trying to keep him locked up because I realized he was living behind that boy's eyes was purely, simply evil.
So who would you have play Dr. Loomis?
Nobody other than Donald Pleasance. I don't like to admit it. the guy kind of intimidates me, but him and the lead actress on set, I think, would really help drive the film totally.
I agree. He's a great first choice, but let's just make sure we have a few other options available. I'll try to get with his agent, after this meeting. And what about the killer?
So our killer, in 1963, this boy, fully compelled to kill his sister, goes out to do so. Now, the thing about it is where the scare comes from, is it's the idea that it happens every year. So you might be able to try to kill him or get rid of him or whatever it may be, but it's the fear that it will always come back. And that is just human nature, that response of fear. Like, will it come back? So now that we've psychologically gotten the brains of the viewer that you are afraid that it's going to come back. Another thing that we're really, really playing on with our killer is that he's always silent. So this has not really ever been done before, is when there is really no noise that he makes. So it's the fear of silence and the fear that he'll always come back. So you're playing on two things. You're playing on the idea of that you can never get rid of him, and then you're playing on the idea that of silence, which is a big fear for a lot of people. Go ahead. His name is Michael Myers.
Debra,
Hey.
John, what's going on?
What's going on, my man?
Hey, I love the script. The only thing is, the monster you guys are creating, Michael Myers, he doesn't talk ever. He's a mute.
Does silence scare you?
The only thing that scares me is that our main antagonist isn't going to talk the whole movie. I don't think people are going to go tell their friends to come see it.
Irwin, it brings excitement and anticipation, and we're doing something that hasn't been done before. We have to take a risk. This gives the audience time to think, to sit there and wonder what's going to happen next without telling them when it's going to happen or how, without giving any obvious cues. Silence feels like a long time.
Yeah, well, in that case, the soundtrack's just going to have to be dynamite. I mean, the sophistication of the music and the sound is just going to have to be able to carry throughout the whole movie. And I mean, we don't have much money to hire anyone to make a soundtrack for us. So, I mean,
Irwin, I know, I get it, man. I know we don't have the money, but we have 6 days. Let me put some samples together and see what I can do.
Well, we have 3 days left. They want to schedule stuff and they want to get this fast track to Halloween so we can release it. So, I mean, do what you can do, John. Let's get some samples going and we can go from there.
All right, sounds good, man.
All right, I'll see y'all later.
All right,
Bye.
take care. I'm gonna lose my mind. This script isn't gonna write itself. Help me. Tell me something. Michael. Tell me something. Bongos.
What?
Bongos.
7 in the morning. John, did you even sleep?
Let's go back to bed, Debbie. I'll be back.
Where are you going? This is for you.
Thank you. God, I'm nervous.
We're gonna do great.
All right. Feeling great. Let's go.
John and Debra just got back from my meeting with the execs. They're really happy with the way the film's starting to come along. They really like the antagonist, our monster, Michael Myers, being silent throughout the film, and it's really starting to take toll with them. And you guys couldn't have done without you. Done a fantastic work getting our lead roles in. It's truly amazing what you guys have been able to do. I guess we can take this time now to go over any last second or last minute revisions or anything you guys haven't discussed with me yet. Go ahead.
Irwin, thank you for having faith in us. You've really given us all the tools we need to be successful for this. And though we've beat one deadline, I know we have a lot of work left to do. So I know you've seen the script and the mask, but I want John to come up here and really show you who our killer is.
Irwin, Debra, thank you. Horror. What is it? In the simplest word, it's mystery. It is literally when you're in bed at night and you're a child and your parents go away for the weekend and you're laying there alone and you hear rain coming down on your window. You hear the stairs crackling and your heart starts to beat harder. You start to breathe deeper. Hands get sweaty. And what is it? Why do we get that anxiety? Where does that fear come from? It's the unknown. Horror is simply when reality and the unknown come together. And that's what Halloween is. That's what our killer is. It's simple, but it's reality. And that's scarier than fiction. So, what I'd like to do is show you something that we were running out of, budget, obviously. So, Irwin asked me to compose something for you guys, and this is what we've come up with. The song is just as simple as the script, and it's just as simple as Michael's motives, and it's just as simple as fear. It's simple. It's minimalistic. It's not a bunch of noise intertwined with the story. And that is what makes it so effective. And that's why this will work. You won't know that he's coming, but you'll know that he was there. So be ready, because nothing will stop the boogeyman from coming to your little town.